Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here and welcome back to my channel, and today's video, which is made possible through the EA Game Changers program, so big thank you to EA for providing me with an early access code to the brand new stuff pack Tiny Living so that I could get this video up for you guys. So today I'm going to be taking on the challenge, and it's a challenge indeed because I am not a builder. I rarely ever do builds on my channel, and if I do, it's just because I'm in a random mood or I really want something specific to a let's play or something like that. Basically, I barely build, but I figured with the release of Tiny Living coming tomorrow, so it's released for everyone on Tuesday the 21st of January. Like I said, EA provided me with earlier access. I figured it was only right to show off what this stuff pack is capable of, and the best way to do that is by building a tiny home. So I have built tiny homes in the past. I actually adore apartments. I really love city living apartments. I play with them a lot, and whenever I do a current household, they tend to live in San Myshuno because I just personally really love decorating. Interior is my jam. Interior is where I feel comfortable and confident, and I know that in apartments the only walls I have to build are kind of the interior walls. So apartments are my safety net when it comes to building and having that creative outlet in The Sims 4. But tiny homes, I have to say, I think I am a recent convert. I'm just saying, I think I might turn into a tiny build YouTuber. Miss Griffey, I'm coming for your brand. I'm about to only build tiny builds from now on because I adore this house. I think what it is about tiny builds is you still have a small enough interior that you don't get lost in it. And I only needed to build how many walls? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 walls in total, which really wasn't too bad. I think sometimes when I start building, I just get completely confused. I don't know which way I want to take it, and then I go too big or too small. I just don't have the eye for it. I feel like you need the builder's eye, whereas it comes to tiny homes, and apparently I have found my calling in The Sims 4 build mode because I was like a duck to water. I don't know what it was, but I saw this tiny house on Google and I was like, that's it. That's the one. That's the tiny house I have to build for myself in The Sims 4. So some of you might say it looks a little bit like a Kayla build. It does kind of have a blue suburban vibe, although I would say it's more pistachio. I definitely went for a pistachio feel, but I didn't really decorate it until I knew I had all the basics in. I wanted to get the kitchen sorted, I wanted to get the bathroom sorted, and I also wanted to get the bedroom and living room sorted out. So I pretty much put in all the essentials just so I knew that this house was gonna be functional. I also did playtest it after I had finished building. I playtested everything. The only thing that isn't usable is a bookcase that I will talk about a little bit later on, but everything else is pretty much functional in this build, and I managed to stay within the micro home limit. So with tiny living stuff, obviously it is all about small living spaces and building them and creating them. So you have 3 tiers. So basically you choose a new residential, which is in the drop down, and it's a tiny house residential home. And then under that tiny house residential, you have 3 different tiers. And the first tier is the smallest. So you have to build a house within 32 tiles. The second one is a tiny house, and that's 32 tiles. And then the small house is actually 100 tiles. And of course, I wanted to challenge myself as a non-builder. I was like, I'm gonna aim to go for the smallest one possible. Let's see how badly I do this. But I was actually really surprised, and I have to say I was kind of taken aback by the fact that this was totally usable, because I thought the bathroom was going to be far too small. I actually did a 2x2 bathroom, and I thought that it was going to be way too small and like the sim wouldn't be able to use anything. But in my defense, it all works. They can use the sink, they can use the shower, they can use the toilet, they can use the mirror. It's great. And it all works within a 30 tile footprint. Like, I didn't even use the full tiles. I could have added an extra 2 tiles in somewhere, but I was like, no, you know what? I only need 30. So I really don't know what happened, but apparently this is where I shine. I definitely took some Bobby inspiration from Queer Eye. I feel like he always does a lot of like houses with navies and whites, and so I took a lot of inspiration from him, my boy Bobby, and it actually worked out really well. So I kind of went for this pistachio and navy look. I did figure out that lighter colors actually help when it comes to tiny homes. I don't know what it is about like the lighter colors, but they definitely help to brighten up a space and keep it feeling as if it is quite big even when it's not. So I would say stick to the lighter colors if you are planning on doing especially a micro home, just because it will like elevate the space a bit. I'm talking like a professional builder. Look at me, the English architect. But apart from like the color scheme, I didn't really have anything like in mind. Like, I didn't create this for a specific sim. Like I said, I just found a tiny house on Google that I kind of wanted to recreate in my game, and I don't even know what you would call it. Like, is it a suburban tiny house? Is it like a little farmhouse tiny house? Is it just like a little cottage? Who knows? Leave your comments down below as to what you would call this type of style, because honestly, I have no freaking idea. I know I said in yesterday's video, like, maybe I was gonna go for a plant addict house, and there are a few plants. I obviously had to stick a few plants in. I love the new prints that came with Tiny Living. I think they're adorable, like the monstera and the other leaves. Those prints are so cute. Even like the non-leafy ones are really cute as well. Really love them. So did this kind of little reading nook, which I actually really like. The lights that I used were actually the medium ones, and some of you might be thinking, Molly, why the heck are you using medium length lights on a tiny build with short walls? But I figured it worked because like it's a little reading area and you obviously want like quite a lot of light, and there are like a fair few windows. Like, you might download this and say there are far too many windows for such a tiny house, but I think it helps with kind of like the old school cottagey vibe. It does look a bit like a cottage. Now that I'm like watching the footage back, I can definitely see it looking more like a cottage than like, say, a typical blue suburban. Like, I could imagine this tucked away in some woods somewhere, and you just come across it and there's just like 2 people living in it. I will say you won't fit any more than 2 people in this house. I think if anyone manages to create a micro-sized home with more than, say, 3 Sims, watch it. Miss Griffey has probably already done it, or SimLissy. Those 2, when it comes to building, are both incredible. So I wouldn't be shocked if one of you guys in my comments were like, well, Miss Griffey actually created a micro home that was built for 8 Sims, because somehow I think she's a wizard and probably would be able to do that. I am not that brave. I decided just to keep it as like a single Sim or a couple, although maybe even a couple wouldn't work, because obviously the Murphy bed that I used with like the pistachio olivey couch, that's pushed right against the living room wall, so a second Sim probably wouldn't even be able to get in there unless they like scooched over. Can Sims scooch? I swear my Sims used to do it when like Get to Work came out, and I don't think I've ever seen them do it since. I don't know, that might just be me. I might just be like forgetting if Sims can actually scooch or not. I haven't seen them do it recently, which is why I'm thinking maybe that's not even a thing in the game anymore. But that's my micro house. That is my first attempt at the official rules of tiny living stuff and building the tiniest house possible when it comes to a micro home. This will be up on my gallery, which is just EnglishSimmer, capital E, capital S. I will be uploading it over onto my gallery. I don't just use base game and tiny living, but please do let me know how you feel about this house in the comments down below. Considering I'm not really a builder and I'm not very confident, I'm quite proud of it, so please don't be too critical or too harsh. I know it's just a fancy box, but it's a pretty fancy box. So on brand. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. Subscribe if you aren't already, and if you would like to see me take on any more tiny homes, then leave your thoughts and ideas down below, and who knows, maybe I'll try and build even more if you guys want to see these types of videos, because it's definitely still a challenge to me. Bye guys!